値を消費してくれる。怖いかな。免許剥奪の時。私立探偵の免許なんてあるんだ。結構ロード長いかな。あ、これ小立てなんだ。凶器に落ち。おー、いきなり来てるな。あ、結構これ画面酔い来るかもな。次を移動。これ。魚の子。サメ。ダッシュとかないかな。闇隠れ。照らす必要のあるアイテムがあります。照らす。明かりとか取れる。照らす。あ、あれか。なんか、明かり。ハリケーンランプ。なんかある。ボトルカッター。あ、これで開く。とりあえず開けるか。これで開ける。 一応開けれるとこ開けとくか。あれ開かない？これも取れるのかな？取れない。お、今度シャチっぽいの。
What a putrid offering.
シャチ。
Don't fight.
お前は選ばれた。
Chosen.
あ、これ？あ、これか。開かなくない？
Behold. Everything has already been written.
顔がない。自分？
But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
I hate whiskey.
ウイスキーのせいか。飲まない。
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
俺の休校と糸の治療はもう必要ない。なんか治療だくの。
I should get rid of all this stuff.
これは。とりあえずアイテム探索。
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
なんか
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
事件解決なんだな。
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it. Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I used to be an avid reader. Been too long since I've slept in a bed.
車内取ろう。
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce? Private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
お？キャラクターのスキルポイント。これでなんか耐性とかかな。話術。うん。ほう。オカルト。これちゃん大事なんやね。まあ探偵っぽい能力は最初からあるんや。まあ、とりあえずオカルトじゃない。オカルトの知識。 あ、いや、でもなんか、上げた、端数で作った方がいい、上げた方がいいか。どれがいいかな。隠しオブジェとか、これがいいんじゃね？あ、まだ上がってない。どうしようかな。いきなりこんなのがあるとはね。オカルト。バランスよくとりあえず上げとくか。わかんないし。で、確認。はい。
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family.
謎解きもしかして。
Rather thin.
はい。
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
これはさすがに危険な。まだこれ聞けるんか。
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right.
And you think your daughter...
That is what... Go to
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book.
これが、あれか、ノート。
On the North Atlantic.
なるほどね。
I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
ゲームをマイクが拾っている気がする。あ、そういうこと？ゲーム音をマイクが拾ってるってことは、ループしてるってことか。
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then. All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
あ、もう2章。結構長いな。
We're almost there. Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks. Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure arises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
The Stranded Whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland, and...
I've got...
Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray...
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it. Anything else?
Captain Fitzroy told me...
Oh, yeah? That must have been before...
Oh, come on.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever... Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman...
What gives you the right?
It would...
So what? Let me drink.
nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations. Gifted.
Do you like our song?
We may not.
That's true.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here.
It's a local legend.
Watch what you...
That catch, see?
Ah.
We're the... Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have...
It's true. Every...
What report?
The one that's framed. Our grandparents...
Dang it, what?
What brought Whalington?
The whales.
They all
You exhausted this.
You could say that, yes.
Until the last.
The one of the...
Eggs.
I bid you
Good night.
So long.
I had the wings of the girly boys. I was pleasant and fly home.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
He said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
You hear that? You bilge rats don't scare me.
What did he call us
There's
just
nothing
now?
for you here either.
I said you were a bilge
Beatheads.
rat. And even a poxed limpet. You think we don't know much?
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this... a Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins, but that's all I'll get from them. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman cat. Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
From here, I see everything that goes... the hard-working lives of my... even the antics of these warp...
It's you who lays...
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where...
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from and the island's fishing industry was hit bad.
Indeed. We specialized in whaling. But
so where did the Hawkins family get its...
Well, from what Charles although these dates on them...
With whom? I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visit...
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no.
With any success?
I wouldn't, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything?
Don't you worry about...
I was looking at your photo.
Ah, yes.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but...
And for good reason. That's...
Your father.
John Fitzroy, captain of the Silk. His wooden leg is here.
The miraculous cat.
Not at all. It's an episode from our glory. Go read the story of the sailors. It's displayed on a wall.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and...
Do their work. Hey, Sullivan. The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in...
Because its owner is... And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now, please.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
There. Hello, old friend. Somebody's stealing from the bootlegger's stock of liquor. You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our...
I respect your...
Our belief?
That's irrelevant.
That's what you...
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bows... Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be...
Quieter.
What brings you to talk?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by low?
You wouldn't be looking down at...
St. Brendan. Until those assholes...
Peculiar
Yeah, that's where...
It's not because it doesn't...
Isn't it a bit early for...
We got nothing better.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station
So we...
The two guys behind you.
The bootleggers.
They're protecting their territory.
They really don't have... They're more scared of Cat than an...
If only they would...
Is it Cat who's shaking down?
Hold on, just...
Nothing at...
I've taken enough.
We'll see.
Come on, you could tell me. No, if it gets out... Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep... What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to... Go die of thirst, the lot of you.
What happened to the statue of...
What makes you think
We're bootleggers, not...
Who do you think defaced?
What do I know?
The sailors.
Who else, in your opinion?
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you...
Everybody knows us.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site, and we let no one...
Cat.
What?
She's the boss, yeah. She says...
Shut up, you dummy!
She must be quite intimidating if she can...
She redid the smile at the...
I hope he had a good dentist.
No.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
She sounds frightening you.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind...
What are you guarding exactly?
Listen, bonehead.
What will Cat say when she finds out that it's you?
You've got no...
That's true. Apart from this...
You didn't throw it away?
I couldn't know that someone...
What a...
To get into the hall.
That's all. Go on, then.
Let's see. Perfect. Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? What happened here? It smells as bad as it looks. Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Le Petit Parisian. Who might keep a news clipping about Sarah Hawkins? Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
You seem like a competent officer. We should help each other.
You're trying to manipulate me, Mr. Pierce. I hate to be taken for a fool.
All right, Inspector Lestrade. Let me take a more direct approach. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
He's clearly not doing any gardening.
You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his, so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, is there anything else you want?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floor...
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since... Oh, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want...
You won't get me to believe that it looked any...
It's a very old building, you know? It's found...
It's got nothing to do with Charles...
Ha! So, since you already know it, it remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wait. Let's go up there.
You're the one who looked after the...
Don't think I was trying to hide it.
That's why you're so keen to find out who...
Yes. If something escaped us. Anything else?
Night falls quickly here.
I'll go with you. If only...
Why not?
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is... The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the man.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary?
Poor kid.
Steal a burnt painting?
Poor kid.
I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
Poor kid. Poor kid. The caretaker takes... Charles Hawkins. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe, and let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance?
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin?
Yeah, that's it, vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What now?
Pierce, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silent...
You're right. Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here, smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins didn't eat. Was it because of the meat or something else? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Sarah Hawkins and little Simon. The perfect picture of the middle-class family.
It's already too late for the Hawkins.
Charles and Sarah's wedding is painted by Sarah herself. Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? They had a fight. Why? The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Did someone escape the fire? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I think that some of your colleagues should turn in their back. This room is bursting with
Well, of course.
I suspect this lamp caused the fire.
That's what the investigation...
But does your report mention the bloodstains? The lamp...
For heaven's sakes, no.
It would seem at least one person...
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. The left side has no mark. The door...
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles...
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of...
Oh, yeah?
I was under the impression the fire...
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m.
This clock burned before 10...
That's impossible. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour... Your clock must have...
Dr. Fuller?
A brilliant surgeon, and a friend of the family. So, excuse me.
So be it. I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies?
I can't help you on that one.
Without your
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West, we never deal with cases.
I firmly believe this fire... I think the Hawkins...
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty. This door is blocked from the outside. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This place was falling apart long before the fire. This place was falling apart long before the fire. book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies. A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. "20,000 Leagues Under the Sea." Another story about the mysteries of the deep. A crowbar could prove useful. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time. What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment. Perfect. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? Looks like a revocation ritual. Was she trying to invoke something or banish it? Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. Bradley? Is that you? Is anyone there? You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier.
Where did he go?
Seems like this came from a log. They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips. It looks like an old seaway map. Looks like the navigational
You really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see any way out.
Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. Probably another friend of Hawkins. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the... This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably I must find a way to activate the... With this, I should be able to force the gears.
Well done, Pierce. The secret passage, under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already gotten far.
Yeah, and he had a direct means of entry to the crime scene. We must find him.
What?
3 seats.
Look, someone's been here recently.
Did Charles Hawkins use this place? What is this mask supposed to represent? Whatever Charles Hawkins hid here, he didn't want it in his house. This piece of cloth is unmistakably from a dress. Was Sarah Hawkins here? This symbol, what does it mean?
Piers? Where you going? I can't keep up with you in this darkness.
Are you scared? I want to see how far these steps go.
Who's talking about being scared? I'll wait for you by the door.
These paintings must be several centuries old. There you are again.
Well done, Piers. And it looks like you found our fugitive. This door is securely shut. I'll look for another passage.
It's an underground cave. We can advance this side.
Yeah, I can see that. You, please excuse me, but given your condition, I'll stick to my idea. I'm not cut out for this kind of acrobatics.
All right. Look for another entrance. I'll try to catch up with our man. Time has weakened these structures. I don't have time to search them all. I don't have time to search them all. What's going on here?
Piers!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me into?
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
A table for sacrifice? A mass grave? An engraved whalebone. A strange creature has been carved into it. Probably a figure of worship.
I gotta... I can't breathe. What's happening? No, damn it! I must find a way out of here. No, damn it! I must find a way out of here.
Is it my turn?
Yes. It is time. You will soon be one of us, if your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream. A pre-Columbian tribal dagger. Probably destined for scarification rituals. Pre-classical Latin? Let's see what it says. What is this awakening they talk about? And this sacred flesh?
You who sleeps, accept this dream under your immortal name.
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fitagan.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink Hupadk Cthulhu Bithinkor.
Grant him your mind and accept his, so that his mind and yours may be one.
Yeloig Hupadk Cthulhu Loigna.
Grant him your dreams and accept.
I feel him.
Shh. You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of you. All you who sleep, bring me more sacred flesh.
Into the kingdom of the earth.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
His awakening is complete. He will join you shortly.
Dead? This ritual killed him. Where's the sense in that?
Kristelbas Natulu, Lenalaf, Klil Nochschlag, Hele, Gorkaniha, Sigof, Eniapetach, Nikif, Kristelbas Natulu, Lenalaf, Klil Nochschlag, Hele, Gorkaniha, Sigof, Eniapetach, Nikif, Kristelbas Natulu.
Bradley, what are you doing here? I saw two odd-looking guys coming down. Seemed up to no good. What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit! Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate!
Bradley, get back!
Shoot.
Get back!
You asked for it! Charles, you shouldn't have seen this. Ah!
Caving in. I need to get out of here. My leg! Light. At last.
He's having a seizure.
He will survive. Strong subject.
There, he's opening his eyes.
You saved him, Fuller.
I can't get up.
Don't move, Pierce. You can certainly say that you gave us a scare.
What did you do to me? Undo these straps!
Whoa! Go easy, my friend.
You were dead. He killed you.
Are you sure he's better?
He was dead. Me too, we were dead! What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my friend.
What? No! What happened to me? Where am I?
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't leave here.
You've got no choice, Sanders, and neither do we.
You don't understand. If I go out, he'll see me. No, no!
You're leaving this cell.
Please. I don't want him to find me.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scrawled all over their maps in the wake of my lonely wanderings. No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams. When the last of them rises up, you will choose. I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. But the earth will resound to your cries, or theirs. Awake and free me.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time. Can you stand up?
Who are you?
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait. Bradley is really alive? I don't understand. You filled me so full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing to do with these disgraceful treatments. Look, I don't have time to explain everything. I'm not really and the same goes for you, according to Ethan. I've brought you your clothes.
What's going on here?
I would really like to know. For problems they didn't have before going downstairs. We must not stay. There are 2 men standing guard near this. I shall try to distract them and get all you need to do.
Understood. What does this mean? Am I in an asylum? What did they inject him with? Why the strange symbol repeated over and over? What did he write about the painting? Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors. Sarah. If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him. Poor wretch.
Dr. Colden, I would like to say that I'm surprised to see you, but we all know that your curiosity will be your ruin.
I don't understand. These people need care. You keep them in this terrible place as if...
Go back upstairs where your patients are waiting for you to treat them. As for you, gentlemen, do not disappoint me anymore. No one enters or leaves.
Yes, Doctor.
Damn it. I'll have to find a way of getting rid of those 2 myself.
I told you not to let her come down. I know.
The machine is working again, but the control wheels haven't been put back on.
I was just going to the storage room. I can bring them to you.
No, Dr. Fuller doesn't want us touching the pressure valves.
As you want. I'm gonna see if there are sleeping pills left. They've run out again upstairs.
Put a few aside for me, will you? And above all, leave the wheels where they are. Yeah, you there, come here. I don't know what you're doing there, but you don't seem to be friends with the nurses. I can help you. Help me.
What do you want?
Sleep. That's all.
Sleep? You don't want to leave?
No. Have you seen the storm that's brewing? I'm fine here. Except for one problem.
You want sleeping pills, right?
Yeah. And in exchange, I can make noise. Lots of noise.
You'll draw the guards to your cell to allow me to escape.
So, you in? Find something to make me sleep, and I'll take care of the guards for you.
Is it the noise?
No, it's the nightmare. And afterwards...
I'll find you.
Go look in the store.
If I walk, I do not stop. If I do not stop, he does not catch me. If he does not catch me, I do not sleep. If I do not sleep, I do not see him. I do not hear him. He does not call me. He does not call. Worms me. I will not eat it anymore. Never again. We must not eat it. They must know that it is not good.
Sarah Hawkins. She was a patient here. Dementia, self-inflicted wounds, anatomy, anthropology, nothing surprising. Zoology, esotericism, mineralogy, and a full shelf on cephalopods. Good God. What could this machine be used for? The corpse is complete. Whose are these limbs? Is there a connection between this corpse and the machine? What is going on here? It's an ammeter. I didn't expect to see one on this little rock. This machine seems to consume a great deal of electricity. What will happen if I increase the current to the limit? Worse and worse. What's the connection between this meat and the electrical installation? This is madness. Are they seriously thinking of transmitting the properties of this meat by electric current? can still increase the load. Have I activated anything? Locked. Exactly what I need. The green gas leaves from here, and it runs through the whole building. The control wheel is missing. It's impossible to break this chain with my bare hands. A duct. This valve controls the pressure. This padlock is too complicated for me. It's locked.
He'll find me. He can see me.
Let's calm down, please.
No, no!
Pain is just information, dear Francis. Invaluable information for my research.
Kill me! Kill me!
What?
If you don't kill me, he will.
My poor friend, I fear your mind is lost forever.
This padlock is too complicated for me. I could use this control wheel to turn the valve I saw. Now for the next step. I can still increase the load. It's done. Now for the others.
Who's there? You there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
what is welling up inside me. I feel it in my head and in my body. He roars and swells and has strength of oceans. His waves rise and crash, leaving behind them only a trail of white, nourishing foam. He is my master.
Where do they keep their sleeping pills? My new friend's sleeping pills. Scopolamine F. There's no such thing. They've created derivatives of all common medicines.
You there!
Where do they keep their sleeping pills? My new friend's sleeping pills. Scopolamine, morphine, opium. Nothing but common drugs.
We got a walker.
I've got what you want.
Show me!
There. And remember, they don't come for free.
Don't you worry, you'll have your diversion. Go on now, go hide yourself. The crows! They're everywhere! Make them go away!
What carnage. Theoretically, I've only got one lever to push. The door is blocked on the other side. All the levers are activated. This lever must turn on the gas machine. I've got to hide before the guards see me.
Somebody here! Hell's teeth. Fuller's gonna think we did this. We gotta tell him, though.
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
You're Sanders, aren't you? I heard you. What did they do to you?
The doctor? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my... And yet I told him that I didn't want him. The real culprit is Sarah.
You're kidding me.
The one and the...
I saw the traces of her... Is it connected?
She tried to correct her mistake, yes. She tried...
What's going on? What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. No, don't let it see.
What? Fine.
Sarah Hawkins' visitor?
Sanders.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
No! Sanders! What the hell? Oh God. I gotta... Okay. This is insane. What killed him? Damn! The gas! Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink. No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the Force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I saw people in hoods. They had stolen Mrs. Hawkins' paintings.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know, but they were a threat. They've taken over. One of the entryways was onto Charles Hawkins.
We suspect Mr. Hawkins a bit.
My patients believe the old islanders used to... Could they be the focus of the cult?
Am I hearing that?
So you think me gullible?
No.
What else did you uncover?
I met a Francis Sanders.
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't...
He knew Sarah Hawkins.
What?
I'm not sure.
Tell me how Mr. Sand...
I didn't see what.
Of what do you...
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins.
Sarah Hawkins? This makes no sense. I don't...
You really think she's involved? How could...
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before...
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please...
I don't agree. She deserves...
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
You're right. Without a plot...
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
Our paths crossed, briefly. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday. I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria. Rest assured, however, I need to understand. How could this happen? Did you not do anything to help?
With all due respect, Mrs. Sanders, it was you.
How dare you? What was I supposed to do, Detective? Upon seeing such a waking with a start every night with him shrieking until he managed to gouge his eyes out, I should have listened to Dr. Fuller. Let him intern him months. If I am to be condemned, it is because I did not
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor?
Well, you can imagine that's... It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting. But
who else to paint such horrors?
It is my only lead at this stage.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be... Did she really care for him after all? The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins? The Shambler. I need to see it. Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
Francis, I should never let them take you away. What have I done? Everything is my fault.
A strange Amerindian pendant. I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. An old diary.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of...
Some can be more... What have you come looking...
I have a well-off client in Boston who heard about the death of Francis Sanders and wanted me to size up his estate before making an offer to his widow.
Nice story. Bad lie. Learn how to dupe, Detective. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose? These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery. Why was he so interested in old weapons? Why was he so interested in old weapons? What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger. Damn it! This dagger looks different.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Where's the bookseller? An old diary. What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe. A strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it. Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet? Arkham editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
kind of chalice.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail and these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Chalice of Knowledge. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a... So these are the volumes that... What did Drake say about this collection? The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Queen has little protection. The Queen has little protection. Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion. What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge. The Chalice of Knowledge.
Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
What can you tell me about him?
He was highly agitated an hour ago. We were about to tie him down when he fell asleep. 10 minutes ago, he curled up into a fetal position. I thought he was waking up, but no.
What are his symptoms?
His temperature has been going down, his skin losing its color, his body rigid. I closed his eyes myself. They were glassing over. I didn't want them to dry out, and I couldn't bear to look at the expression on his face.
You did well. Don't worry. Let's stay professional, if you will. I don't recognize him. Did he just arrive on the island?
He said he worked on the docks, but not with Captain Fitzroy. I think he works for Ms. Baker.
Who?
You know, the woman at the head of their gang. They call her Cat.
Oh, I see.
Do you have other questions?
Show me his file.
That's not possible.
Don't tell me Dr. Fuller has taken this file as well. We need it.
That's why I called you. This man's ailment has been hidden from us.
Come on now. What was he treated for?
An intoxication, I was told. After inhaling chemicals.
That'll do for the time being.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him. "30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
These are alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be.
I will not let you...
You disappoint me, Marie. But in the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not...
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institute. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest...
It's scandalous. Can't we do any...
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me.